tell me your story. And he told his story in edited version. He was the hidden child. He told his story for the first time on June the 26th at Poole Lighthouse, 2014. He has since then told his story all over England, in Ireland, he's been to Wales, and he also went back to Germany. Henry was born in March 1939 in Berlin, which is a very silly time to be born, a silly place to be born if you happen to be Jewish. In March 1939, his parents thought that it was time to leave. And they found a smuggler to take them through the forest, but Henry was a crying baby. And the smuggler said, "I'm sorry, I cannot take you and your child on the boat because he's making such a noise. But I will come back for you." And Henry's mother obviously was a bit unsure, but the smuggler did come back and gave Henry a sleeping drug. And they went to Brussels, and to start with, they stayed with family members. But eventually, this wasn't good enough. It was getting very dangerous. And Henry was taken into a nursery as Ariel Schachter, and he came out as Honoré. He was taken under the wing of the most amazing Roman Catholic Belgian family who looked after him as their grandchild. He had to spend a lot of time in the cellar. Anyway, on his 5th birthday, and every time Henry tells his story, I cry, and I've heard him tell his story about 15 times. On his birthday, his 5th birthday, his mother managed to get enough ingredients to make a birthday cake and came to visit him, and they had a small birthday party. And his mother said eventually, "Sorry, Henry, I've got to go." So she said, "Sorry, Ariel, I've got to go." And he stood at the top of the stairs and sulked and cried and said, "Please, Mummy, don't go, you don't love me." She went, and that was the last time he saw his mother. Because sometime after that, both his mother and father were put on a train. They had to pay for the ticket, which I think is absolutely ironic, and they were sent to Auschwitz and they survived. Eventually, Henry was reunited with his family, but not his parents, because they were sent to a concentration camp. Henry has told this story many, many times, and as I said, I've heard him at least 15 times. I took him to Bryanston School, where he told his story to 450 students. I've taken him to schools all over Dorset and Bournemouth, where he's told his story. He is the most amazing man. It's my absolute honour to be here representing him. So, Elaine wanted me to tell you something about what I do for education. I told you about it a little bit, but I actually go into schools and I do Holocaust education as best I can with children, but I've actually devised a programme for primary school children, telling them the story of Judith Kerr, who wrote Mog. Most junior school children know about Mog, but they do not realise that Judith Kerr was actually a Holocaust survivor. So I've actually shared this story with RE teachers in Bournemouth, Horne, and Wiltshire, and hopefully they're going to use that story. I also run the local events, and if you're happy to have your calendar, then I tell you to keep January the 25th free for our event at Lighthouse Hall, which starts at 2 o'clock, but I'll let Elaine know, she can let everybody know. Because the theme for next year, this is very appropriate, is actually bridging generations, which by having second and third children survivors actually doing. And that's really a lot about me. Thank you very much.
Anita, our memories gone. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Elaine, for inviting me to participate in this event. And it's it's been the second time I came, third time actually, to come here this morning to commemorate the work of Pebble Chadwick. And I'm really pleased that these efforts are being made and there's support from the town council and all these individuals. So thank you, everybody. I've been asked to talk about my father, and so I'm going to tell you a story about him. He's from Czechoslovakia. He came from a family of, his father was a doctor, his mother supported it, they worked in Horne, that's where they lived. Oops. And, sorry. And they lived a very average life of a middle-class professional family, and Brno was a thriving town at that point. And they were, what do you say, is Jewish, but